Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Smart D Wiz. It's Monday, so we're playing. Well, not playing. Jeez, we've been playing so many games. I keep thinking about playing. We'll be developing Pocket Fighter EX. So it's not a official Capcom or SNK game, not affiliated, none of that stuff. Just a community-based game, free to play, free to download, etc., etc. So we can get to. There we are. We were working on last time, we were doing some alpha counter stuff, and I quite liked the results of that experiment, so I think we'll continue developing that and see how that goes. I think at this point, it fills a much needed gap in the defensive abilities of the characters. So being able to punish fireballs with some kind of power max cancel is important, because you couldn't do that before. You could only push block, and push block did this, and it was nothing. So it was a way to sort of completely defeat the push block, and at like a distance here, well, depending on what move you use, you might be able to counter it, but you would have been able to do nothing here with just a push block. And it's just kind of it was a complete waste of a push block to do anything against Fireball. So more projectile heavy characters were at more of an advantage. Now that wouldn't actually normally hit as long as they blocked. So there is sort of a limit. Obviously this move has to start up in enough time to do something. And then of course once you're in Power Max, or Armor Max rather, you have your Armored Command Normal. Let's see, who is that? Scorpius something. Hold on, I couldn't read. That was hard to read. I gotta pull up the little text window. Really? Scorpius Hedge Meme? Hedge Meme? Scorpius Hedge Meme? Whoa, that's quite a name. Hey, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Hey, that's the beauty of the internet. You can have whatever name you want, right? I came up with it when I was like 12. Like all great internet names, right? Yeah, no, I've had those too. I understand what you mean. So I need to enhance how this both sounds and works. I think, and I did some of this work throughout the week. I'll show you. I've completely separated the hitboxes from the moves themselves. So what I mean by that, it's typically, and most animations are still like this. Not all of them have been converted over. In fact, only a select few have to test it. But, so say like crouching heavy kick. And we'll put on... Hey! There's another one! LBRY? LBRY, is that it? LBRY. At least it's a little easier to say. Welcome and thanks for the follow. So this is the Unity engine. I don't know if it actually says here. Yeah, Unity 2020.1.1 F1. So I've been using the Unity engine, and I've programmed all the combat code and all that from scratch. But Unity is just the foundation that it's running on, the platform, if you will. So if you see here, and I think I need to open... Where is it? Hit system. You see here the hitboxes are already attached to this animation. Makes it nice and easy to animate. But here, this where it says load hitboxes, it's specifically loading it immediately as soon as this animation has been started. So the The problem with that is that you can't swap hitbox data with the same animation. Except now I've changed that so that you can. Now having this animation event to load this will overwrite what I'm about to show you. So if any animation has this, it will just default to this anyway, which is fine, especially during the transition here. But the main thing here is, so I made a separate, actually, let's look at the same move. This is crouching heavy kick. So here you've got the move class, so it's like a normal, special, that kind of thing. That it's an animation, and the animation is crouching heavy kick. But now I've added hitbox data, so I could load a different hitbox data instead. As long as this is not here, but we'll remove this to make that actually work. I don't know. We'll say it's power wave instead. How about that? It's going to have power waves boxes. So I'm going to remove this event to load them explicitly. And so now if I call this animation, the hitboxes will look kind of strange because they're power waves. So if I pause, hold down and kick, okay, and you'll see here they're all kind of different. So that's how I can reuse now the same animation and apply different hitboxes to it. So like say if that move is used as an alpha counter, we use the same animation potentially and just give it a different set of hitboxes so that the damage is different, or, you know, something like that. So if we go back, where was that? C is for crouching heavy kick, and we'll actually give it the crouching heavy kick. So heavy kick, that's reuse Ken's, reuse Terry's. Oh, I see. I named them a little differently here, didn't I? So now they should look normal. Oh, see, now it looks normal. But I could say that if we want to use that now in as our kick move here, so I'm just gonna crouching heavy kick, and I'm gonna give it, I don't know, power charge as a as its hitboxes, just for the heck of it. So okay, that's pretty funny actually. Bonk. But you see, you get the idea. So now I have a little more flexibility with it. If I can do it right. Oh, yeah, it's not going to reach because the hitboxes are wonky. But you get the idea. So now I can make, say, the same animation. Say I want that animation to be there, but I want it to knock back a little further, or I want it to do a certain amount of damage. So they're not so wildly different between the two options, because you still got the punch variety and the kick variety. My man Terry just said no to a move being unsafe on block. Yeah. Bonk. Oh my god. Just for the heck of it, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, you could do some crazy shit in the corner, I bet, with this. Oh, you know what? That's not gonna reach. Not far enough. I'm getting closer. Oh. Oh, I didn't get the... didn't get the cancel, hold on. Or you could just, yeah, you could just do that. Hold on. Oh, hell, actually. Yeah, hold on, no. My mind's in a different space here. Okay. Oops. Oh, hold on. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, it just goes right by. That's funny. I'll have to wait. Oh! Yeah. Alright, that's not gonna be in the game, though. That's way too cheap. Can you imagine? way too cheap. But I think it's reasonable to have, say, like Power Dunk might be interesting. So let's see, Power Dunk H. That was the idea we were floating around last time. Maybe having Power Dunk would be cool. And because it does a hard knockdown, so you get total advantage. Like you get to definitely, you know, stay on top of that if you want. And then the other one was that we were using was Power Burn Knuckle, but oh shoot. I'm trying to do the down back. That's not how that works. So the alpha counters here is 2 commands really, because doing the power max cancel on its own, so that's just back and heavies, the back and 2 heavies. If you do that while blocking, then you can get the push block. So what I did is once you do the back and 2 heavies, then press forward and a punch or a kick, and then you'll get your alpha counter. And if you don't press anything and you just hold the back, then you get the push block. So that you have all 3 options. So if you, well, not no character confirmations, but just for the heck of it, let's say we put Dulcine in. Dulcine would want to use the push block if someone was doing a melee attack, right? Because he wants to get them back. He wants to push them away. So if we, yeah, whatever, we'll choose. No, wait, shoot. I gotta choose somebody other than. I'll choose Terry as the opponent because he's got a melee attack. So that will actually get push blocked. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, so we'll do this. So say you can push him back. And of course the advantage here is obvious that now, you know, Terry's over on the other side of the stage and he's got to contend with fireballs again. Most of the animations are from the official Neo Geo Pocket Color games. We've done some custom animations for things that don't exist in those games that we needed, like grab with. Their grabs were just the hold near and heavy. We don't do that, we do it third strike style. So they needed a grab whiff animation, so we drew those. Ryu, let me get hitboxes off here. Oh, no. Hide. Yeah, we'll do input. So like Kaku Fubatsu. Oh. That's all original animation. Hey, Shoryu Sam, what's up? That's going pretty good. We found, well, I guess a sad story. We found we got chickens around the area. So a lot of people are surprised by this, but in some areas there's wild chickens and they just roam. And some can be friendly. So we've got chickens that just hang around the house here in Kentucky, up in the mountains. And life is cruel, nature is awful, and so we've got, you know, of course it's breeding season since it's summer. And we had a chick, a single baby chick whose mother had died, probably eaten either a coyote, possum, something like that. And we captured it, and so I guess we're keeping it. Because it lives here now. Like, it can't live on its own. It's too small. So at least for now, it lives here. So I guess it's a pet chicken now. So that's what's been going on today. It's also why I was a little late here, trying to get everything settled with the little guy. Yeah, let me, hold on. Let me pull up some pictures. I'll take some pictures. Let me grab some. If I can find them here. Someone we put in Discord. Oh yeah, there's one. And let's see, is there another one? There's another one. Okay, these are two good ones. Let me pull them in here. Let me save them. Save them to desktop. 1, 2. Okay, let me bring it back. Yeah. Alright, let's head to the desktop. And here it is. Little baby chick. Yeah, it won't survive on, so it's way too young. So then we caught him last night. And he's slowly acclimating to being around humans, at least very close. And he decided to sleep on me, so I guess he's comfortable enough to do that. Yeah. Yeah, he is cute. So, I don't know. Amber wants to name him Yoshi, because chickens are descendants of dinosaurs. Which makes sense, I guess. So, there he is, a little fuzzball. Yeah, pretty much. Must protect. So, he's taken quite a liking to us at this point. It was funny because I sat him down and I had to come out here to start getting ready for his stream and stuff, and he just screaming his head off in the other room over there. And so Amber had to like kind of pet him and bring him over there, feed him a couple crackers, and calm him down. So I think he's taking a liking to us. So yeah, that's our chicken now. So we'll see what we're gonna do with that. He basically just eats and sleeps and poops all over the place. So have to deal with that. So yeah, we were sharing some pictures in the Discord earlier about that. But he's nice. He's a nice little chicken. You get a little feisty sometimes. He wants to peck, but I think he's just still nervous. So, you know, obviously, like when he wakes up, when he first wake up, he starts to freak out really bad. But I think it's because, like, you know, he lost his mother. He's expecting his mother to be there when he wakes up, and, you know, then it's not, and it's kind of settling in back on him, and so I feel bad for him. So he's here now. Add that to the other fucking cat and the dog and the other cats and the whatever. How many characters? Well, to start, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. To start, we've got 8. You might be able to tell who these are, especially by the hair. So we got Ryu, Ken, Shun, and Guile, and then Terry, Mai, Iori, and Kyo. So I'm refraining from thinking too far past that. We've also agreed to put in a secret guest character by request, so we'll reveal that more when we get done through these. And then I'll pick a boss for arcade mode, you know, and slap it in. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Number one, because if I put out a roster, then I have to stick to it. So if I ever change my mind, it's like people are going to be like, but you said you were going to add fucking, I don't know. What's a really Hakan? Yeah, you said you're going to add Hakan. Well, I don't like Hakan, so Hakan's not coming. Yeah, the topic of Akuma comes up a lot. I think at some point, you know, you have to have a secret boss, and that would be the obvious pick. I think in some way, shape, or form, Akuma is sort of an inevitability. You know what I mean? But I'll leave all those decisions past. If we can get through 8, let's get through 8 first. It's been hard enough. Let's get through 8 first. You know what I mean? And then we'll go from there. Yeah. So I've got kind of an idea of who I might do for a second round, but it's nothing set in stone. I don't wanna commit to anything like right away. And Tim will tell you otherwise. Tim will tell you I have to put his main in if you remember who that is. He'll get real mad if I don't. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough. Each character takes about 4 months of dedicated work to, you know, get the sprites ready, to animate things, to do the in-game animation sequences, the balancing, the hitboxes, all that stuff. So, hey, what's up? PPP 25 PPP. Again, all the weird names today. What's going on? Yeah, it takes a lot of time. A lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of thinking in order to get everything right. And then there's usually something I have to tweak from the other characters. Mess that up. So, like, it's like, oh, I added in, and here's a good example, actually. I added Ken in, and then I realized that Ken's heavy kick, if I can show it here. Ken's, which one is he? Which one is he? Oh, that's normal. Where's Ken? Here's Ken's controls. Ken's heavy kick, way more range than Ryu's, way more range. So I needed to increase Ryu's range on his attack. So I ended up, making the hitbox a little bit bigger, a little more forward, so it can hit just a little farther. And if you notice, Ryu steps in a little bit every time that he uses his kick. Now Ken's is still better. Ken's still goes farther. But you know, Ryu's was so bad, like it was super apparent. But when you're fighting Ryu, it doesn't matter. They're the same kick, right? It's a mirror match. They're the same moves. But it became very apparent that Ryu's needed to get better once Ken's was introduced. So there's, once you do even add a character, then you've got to go back and make sure that everything's balanced between all the characters. So yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. So just doing the character itself isn't a lot. And you see this a lot even with the official games. When a patch comes out, new character comes out, they usually accompany with a patch, and then people get changes across the board. And most of the time it's because of that new character's been added and they need to compensate for something. Balancing, aka suffering. it can be quite a task. It really can. Oh, he's set to human, that's why. So yeah, back to alpha counters. We have now 2 of them per character. We're testing them out, seeing how they work. So here's a good example, and we can do this one in real time. So attack info. Shoryuken, heavy Shoryuken is 110, right? Oh, okay, actually do command there. Does 110. And that does 70, right? So you would think, and that's because it's reusing the same animation, the same hitbox as the actual move. And sure, okay, that's what their damage is normally, but might you think about them being a little more equalized for an alpha counter, either lessened or increased in some cases, or what have you. You don't want the alpha counter to be too damaging. You also don't want it to be too undamaging, or it's kind of like useless. You know what I mean? And then the bottom tiers get nerfed the heck. Well, I know a lot of companies will say this, but I do agree. I mean, just sometimes you can't do this across the board, but I do agree it's better to buff than it is to nerf. But there does come a point where if you buff things too much, then everybody's bullshit, and then that can also make the game suffer. That may also not be fun at that point. Sure, it makes things a little more even across the board, because at some point, once everybody gets to a high enough level of bullshit, it's like, oh, everybody's got an infinite, so everybody's viable. But then, you know, the game breaks down at that point. And maybe in Marvel 2 it sort of works, but in a Street Fighter, King of Fighter kind of situation, you don't want to have that kind of ability, so it becomes a little more tenuous. Hey, Newt. We're working on alpha counters, or continuing to work on alpha counters. Like I said, for Marvel, it's already weird and crazy and all that, so it sort of works. But you wouldn't want infinites in a Street Fighter game.
Don't work too late tonight, Daddy. You gotta soothe your new son. He's screaming for you.
Oh yeah, I showed him. I guess for anybody who came in late here. We found a baby chick. His mother died. And we picked him up. I don't know if you can hear him or not. He's screaming in the other room because Amber came out into this room. And so we found him. He's starting to take a liking to us, so that's good. Can't survive on his own, so we gotta do something about it. Oh, who's that? Doggy? Who's down there? Hello, Doggy. Now here's the dog. The dog we found on the mountain road. The chicken we found in our backyard. The cat we found down the road. Yeah. Oh, them chickens is cute, but man, do they poop everywhere. Oh yeah, Hokuto no Ken? Dude, there is no such thing as balance in Hokuto no Ken. Everybody is just ridiculously broken. Dude, it's not even a game anymore. It really isn't. It's so broken, it's not even a game anymore. It's just turned into crazy. Yeah, if you guys get some time, it's a PlayStation 2 game, Hokuto no Ken. It was made by Arxis, and it looks amazing. Like, visually, it looks just like, you know, the Guilty Gear X2 kind of style. And it's really nice, but it's so broken. Oh, we actually love that. Yeah, one man Pong. It really looks like that sometimes. It's more like playing some Pong fighting game than it is anything else. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I couldn't begin to tell you exactly what they're exploiting there, but there's some brokenness in that game. There's some evil in that game. It needs to be exercised. So, yeah, we can do one of these hitbox replacements in real time here. So let's take a look at Ryu's files. So his moves, command moves. So here's his armor max counter kick and his armor max counter punch. Looks like they are set for data, so those animations are probably primed for it. So let's do the kick first. So we'll open up, here's all the damage information, all the effects, what it can do, cancels, all that stuff. We're gonna copy. And we're going to create a new one. Hit system, hitbox data. So, we're going to say crouching, heavy, kick, A max. Or we'll say A counter, alpha counter. Hello.
Hello.
Did you make pancakes? Gotcha. I smell them. Okay. So here we've copied it. It's got all the data. So let's just say for the heck of it, we want to make this like 100. Right? To get it closer to the Shoryuken when it gets the alpha counter. And so now that we have this, we gotta go back to moves and we'll go to alpha counter kick, and here we're going to change it to the alpha counter version. So you'll see now if we do a normal, it's a 70. Let me wipe the info. So here it's a 70, right? And there it's still 70. Okay, what did I screw up? What did I do? What did I mess up here? Damage 100. Okay, so what might be the case here? Like I was showing before, that animation might crouch. This might be explicitly loading hitbox data. That's overwriting it. So let's take a look. Yep, there it is, load hitbox data. So we're gonna remove that. So now if we do it, it should take the one that we've set. So, oh, it didn't get shit. Oh, you know why? Hold on. Crouching heavy kick. So the actual normal one. Oh, I'm sorry, not that one. Crouching heavy kick. Yeah, we have to add it here. So crouching heavy kick. That is Ken's Ryu's. Let's see. Okay, looks like it's got boxes now. There we go, 70. So we've got it set so then the typical version does 70 damage. But the counter one does 100 now because we've swapped out the hitboxes. So they're identical in terms of like the hit and the hurt and all that. We just changed that damage value. So now that's 100. And that way, so if you're close and you use Shoryuken, it's only 110, so it's not a big difference. Something like that. Now I don't know if that's the exact damage values I'm going to use, but that's an example of why we would want to do that. Another example would be, hey, we want them to get pushed back farther, or we want them to go into a specific knockdown state, you know, when it's the alpha counter version. So let's see. Am I using an arcade stick or a controller? Normally I would play with an arcade stick, but for testing I use a controller, and that's for two reasons. One, to make sure that the game plays good on both pad and stick. So the only way to really know that is to be able to play it on both. So I typically test with the pad, and if I need to test something specific with stick, of course I can just plug the stick in and try it. Although, you know, being a stick user, I have a pretty good idea of what feels good and what doesn't feel good on stick, so I test primarily with the gamepad. The other reason is, if I have a big giant arcade stick on my lap, it's hard to then switch to the keyboard and then switch back to the stick and switch to the keyboard, and typically I gotta take it off my lap so I can type and then pick it back up and play and whatever, where I could just, the controller, I just set it on the desk over here. I type, I do my typing, and then I just pick up the controller again, and look, I'm back, you know? Like, it's so much easier to just do it that way. So, it's a Xbox 360 controller, believe it or not, if you want to know what it was. I actually find the analog quite comfortable for fighting games, somehow. Not for most games, but for this one, I guess it works. But again, it also gives me that kind of insight of, oh, hey, on stick this is really easy to do, but on controller this is really hard to do, or this is really uncomfortable, or you gotta have a claw grip, or you gotta do something crazy in order to make it work, and I don't want that to be the case. Everything should be doable on the pad with the default configuration without having to do anything crazy on it. So that's why I only do, like, grabs on the lights, and max is on the heavies. And that's because on a normal controller, well, I guess if you're playing on PlayStation, on a PlayStation controller, it'd be square and X would be the grabs, so those are the two lights, you know, and then the next tier of buttons is the heavies or whatever, and that would be triangle and circle together. And those are easy to hit with your thumb, because your thumb naturally lays in that direction. It's like a line that goes through it. And then when you do EX attacks, your thumb can press in between the buttons to press both the punches at the same time, or both the kicks at the same time. You know what I mean? So that makes that much easier to do. But if you were to do triangle to X, so the top to the bottom, or X to B on a Nintendo controller, or Y to A on an Xbox controller, like, that's horribly uncomfortable. Typically you're gonna hit one of the side buttons while you're doing it. It's really hard to just do that combination. Now in stick it's trivial. You just tilt your hand, press the two fingers down, and you've hit both the buttons. And same thing with keyboard. Keyboard and stick are very similar if you think about it, in the way that they're laid out. It'll be super trivial to hit those buttons together, but it doesn't work on pad. So I want it to be comfortable to play regardless of what kind of controller you have. We know within reason, and it's not like I'm making everything easy to do on flight sticks or racing wheels, you know what I mean, or Guitar Hero. But most people are going to play on a standard gamepad, or they're going to play on stick, so it should be comfortable to play on both without any real compromises. And I think there's no real compromises to that. Making the multiple button combinations, the simultaneous button presses, you know, intuitive to do, doesn't hurt pad players at all. Yeah, steering wheel win. You should be able to work. It should be able to work. You just plug it in and it should go. You can pretty much almost get any controller under the sun. As long as the computer can detect it, it's more than likely going to work. Now, I can't say it's going to work well, but it'll technically function, right? So, I don't know, experiment. See what crazy shit you can get to work with it. I've seen, shit, I can't remember what his name was now. I've seen a guy go to a tournament with Guitar Hero. Shit, that was all over Twitter. I forget what his name was now. He went and he was actually winning with a Guitar Hero controller. I don't know if it was an Xrd. I think it was Xrd he was playing. Oh shit, that was funny. That was a while back though. I'm sure I retweeted it, but I don't know how to go back and search through that very effectively. I don't know if you're able to answer this, but are you ever going to make your own fighting game using the Pocket Fighter style? No. I think, to be quite blunt, if I were to steal this art style, this is SNK's art style, it's not mine. I think that would... One, there's probably a legal trap there, but I'm more concerned with just outright ripping an art style from another studio is like a heavy... Like, that's heavily disrespectful. It's like, it's basically thieving at that point. You're thieving the art style from SNK. And it's like, no, SNK took the time to do that art style. They put in the work and it's theirs. So I wouldn't want to take that, you know? Now, could you do a different chibi kind of game? Sure, whatever. But I wouldn't use the exact art style. And beyond that, if I was going to make an original project, I think I would want to do something more, I don't know if serious is the right word, but a more traditional art style. You know, dream game would be, you know, hand-drawn characters and HD, you know, HD hand-drawn characters with hand-drawn backgrounds and painted backgrounds, you know, shit like that. I would like to do something like that, but the amount of money that it would take to do that would be astronomical. It's kind of like you don't see... So, like, Skullgirls has not that many characters. It's been out for like 8 years and don't have that many characters. It just takes a lot of money to draw all that, to process all that, and then to add it into the game. So, hey, Shredstein. Yeah, so like if you took inspiration from here, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make my chibi fighter. Yeah, sure, go make a chibi fighter. I wouldn't take the exact art style, but there's no, you know, there's no copyright on chibi fighters. So you could do something interesting with it. Yeah, so I don't want to be like a drama channel. So what happened with Skullgirls recently? Skullgirls is owned by Autumn Games, so they have the IP or whatever. And then the studio that was tasked with actually developing the core fighting game, well, let's say the people there got dissatisfied with how things were run. And they said, you know, screw it, we're going to make our own studio with blackjack and hookers, and we're out. And that's what happened, essentially, there. So Skullgirls itself is actually owned, like I said, by Autumn Games. So the Lab Zero who was working on the game itself, like the technical aspects of the game, only the main fighting game. And so this becomes apparent when you realize that the mobile version, the mobile Skullgirls Mobile, is actually done by a completely different studio. Yeah, so the studio just kind of collapsed when enough people quit, and all the stories came out about what was going on there, and they said, fuck it, we're gonna make our own. What is there? Is there Future something now? Hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let's log into Twitter. And never log into Twitter on screen. I learned my lesson from that one. Is it Future Club? Future Club. All right, let me copy it over here. Oh, where's my tab? Where's my tab? Where's my tab? What happened? Where'd my tab go? There's new tab here. Jeez. Okay. There you go, Future Club. So this is the new studio. So they're doing a co-op game dev studio. I'll explain what that means in a minute. It's not cooperative gameplay. It's a specific type of business. But yeah, there's the team that brought you Skullgirls and Indivisible. Oh yeah, that's right. They did Indivisible too. So they started their own little Twitter. They're doing their own little thing. They got their own mascot here. So there you go. Follow them if you want to see what they got next. I don't know if they're going to do a fighting game. Who knows? Maybe they'll just do something completely different. Like Indivisible wasn't a fighting game. So I don't know. The lead artist and animator on Skullgirls is part of the core group here who formed Future Club. So yeah, I don't know. I followed them. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. So oh yeah, retweeting about what happened. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's what happened with Skullgirls. Now the game itself is probably gonna get shipped out to a different studio, I would imagine. So like I said, Autumn Games owns Skullgirls. LabZero does not. So it's understandable to feel like, oh, screw that game. I'm not going to support that game anymore. But just keep that in mind that the Skullgirls is not LabZero's. And it's very likely that, well, and screwed up my thing. I hate every time it wiped out chat. I'm sorry. So if you just said something, retype it. If you're using an Xbox controller and you happen to like have Internet Explorer or Edge open and you highlight something in the browser, the controller will take control of the browser. So I'm doing a combo here and it's like going back. It's like going forward and back, pulling up the bookmarks. As I'm going here. So yeah, unfortunately it refreshed the chat page. So if you want to retype what you just said, I can read it. Yeah, it is really annoying. Opening incognito tabs with an arcade stick. You could probably. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Oh, something blew up. Oh, that's my, yeah, that's my, the little ticker at the bottom that shows you what song is playing. It's a program called Snip. I guess it crashed. So it's yeah, it had the right name, but I guess it must have crashed. Yeah, Snip stopped working. Yeah, it's called Snip. You can configure it to read whatever the Winamp and a couple other ones. It can read what's currently playing. Whoa. Windows is trying to find a solution to Windows stopping working. Yeah, sometimes you get Internet or Explorer, not Internet Explorer, but Explorer. That's where That's where your files and stuff are. Sometimes that'll crash. That's not like Windows itself. It's actually a program that runs in Windows that gives you this. Sometimes that'll crash. I've seen that happen. So anyway, yeah, I guess back to alpha counter work. So yeah, now we've somewhat equalized the damage here, right? So yeah, we'll show that, and we can show hitboxes too. So if we do a normal sweep 70, right? So now we changed it to load custom hitboxes so that we've got 100 instead. And if we do Shoryuken, it's 110. Of course, still 110 here. We haven't done anything to that. The question is how much damage should an alpha counter do? And to answer that question, why don't we just boot up alpha to get an idea? I mean, we don't have to follow it strictly, obviously, but let's research. Screw it. Fighting games. We've got Street Fighter Anniversary Collection somewhere here among all the other ones. Here she is. Oh, other big news. Hold on, shit. Let me go to my own thing. I don't think a lot of people noticed this. Let me go to my Twitter. Mark D. Wigs. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There we are. Hey, look, I have a Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. SNK announced that they're releasing KOF 2002 Unlimited match with rollback. And they're going to start a beta on October 1st. So that's like, what, a few days from now? Yeah, that's Thursday. So if you own it on Steam, you can get into the beta, as far as I understand. Yeah, right. I don't know why it's not getting around. It dropped last night at like 3 in the morning, and like nobody's noticed. Look at this, only 3,000 likes. This is ridiculous. Nobody's even noticed. Yeah, so of course Code Mystics is behind it, like the other ones. And so you'll be able to get into the community beta. And I guess it ends October 15th. So they'll probably check it out, see how well it works. And they'll make changes, whatever. And Garou works great. Garou with the rollback works great, which Code Mystics did. So this should be phenomenal. This is exactly what we wanted. If they can now just get 98, then we'll be all good. We got 2002, we got 98. That all the Code Mystic games, at least that I care about, will be all set. Yeah, this'll probably get me actually really playing. I'd always sort of wanted to really get into either 2002 or 98, but without good netcode, it's just yeah, exactly. Love me some rollback. So there you go. They announced it. Pretty sure I have it on here. I have it on the 360 way back in the day when it first came out. I got it there, but here it is. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have it. KOF. Yeah, here it is. I rebought it on Steam. But yeah, again, delay-based netcode makes it kind of unplayable for me, especially with Kentucky internet. So I'll be very happy with this. Oh, let's see. Offline training. Oh yeah, there's a whole ton of Street Fighters here. This isn't even all of them. So they got 1, 2's got like 5 versions. I think they even left one out. Didn't they? No, maybe not. Maybe they got everything. 2, yeah, Hyper Fighting. No, that's Hyper Fighting. I'm sorry. This is Champion. Hyper Fighting. Was there only 5? Yeah, maybe there was only 5. Yeah, and then they went all the way from Super to Super Turbo. Oh no, they're just missing Turbo. I don't know if that's what Hyper Fighting was in maybe the arcades. Turbo was just Hyper Fighting. I'm not sure. The consoles had slightly different stuff to them. I'm not sure about that. No, I know Turbo's down there. But this is Super Turbo. So there was a normal Turbo. So the Super Nintendo, yeah, pretty sure Super Nintendo. There we go, hold on. Never search on stream. I'm gonna go to Google. with the proper spelling would be nice. No, don't try to load a... I typoed Google, and of course it's like going to some fucking virus site. Let's see. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Okay, maybe Turbo is hyper fighting. So hold on, let me pull up. Is this Wikipedia? What is this? Okay. Going to Wikipedia. Oh, damn it. Come over here. Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. So maybe it's the same thing. Maybe like on console they just called it Turbo. And then in the arcades, I guess it must have been just Hyper Fighting? Yeah, ad fly. Like, wait 5 minutes. If for real. Yeah, so they increased the speed. Okay, it was on Super Nintendo. So yeah, I guess it's called hyper fighting in the arcades. But it's called Turbo on Super Nintendo maybe, or whatever. Oh no, it says right here, Turbo. It just doesn't say that here. Let's see what the title screen says. Yeah, knock him out. Let's see what we got. What does it say? Yeah, it doesn't say Turbo here. So it must only said Turbo in the home version. Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. Explains that. Yeah. So, 2 Champion Edition added the bosses. Turbo increased the speed. Now, Super does not have Turbo. Super had the new characters, Cammy, T-Hawk, DJ, and was Phelan one of the new characters? Yeah, I think he was one of the second set. And then Super Turbo combined both. So I would love to see a new JoJo fighter, as long as Capcom could get their art to the proper level, which is probably not going to happen. Anyway, let's screw around with. Oh yeah, auto block. Here we go. Let's turn auto block off. Oh, free select. Was that an action? Oh, yeah, that was actually an option in the game, wasn't it? Let's turn the game speed down. And we'll turn the game difficulty up so that they're attacking more. Let's try that. That might be a better way for us to do the alpha counters. To test them out here. So we'll kind of eyeball it here. Yeah, auto guard, there we go. Oh, that's cool. It actually changes its color. I never knew that because I never used auto guard. Okay, we need to build some meter. Oh, my controls here? Oh yeah, they're working. Wow, really? That didn't punish. Man, this is slow. Holy shit. I can't do anything. I thought I could build meter and shit. I'm dying, like, really bad. Okay, now I can save state. Wait, no, I already have a load state. But it's not going to be with the same settings, right? Yeah, screw it. We'll just save. We'll overwrite. And then if we load, this will make it easier. Nope. This will make it easier to test. Okay. Oh, she killed me with chip. All right, we'll just go to the next round. I'll keep my meter. Oh, wrong one. Save game. And we'll go back. Okay. Oh. I can't do alpha counter with this? Oh. Come on, hit me. It's down, back, and punch, right? Or back down rather. It's back down and punch. Maybe you don't get alpha counter if you choose auto block. I can't. I don't know. Maybe I just press a button? No, no, no. I can't alpha counter wood. I guess I can't do it with that. Okay, reset. Or quit first. Let's turn auto block off. Options. Thought it would be easier, but I guess not. Okay. That feels better anyway. Now I don't feel like such a cheater. Alright, let's go, Charlie. Oh! Okay, I've got some meter. So, oh yeah, you know what? It wasn't flashing last time, was it? When I had the auto guard on, my meter wasn't flashing like it is now. Oh yeah, there we go. So, yeah, let's load. And do it again. Okay, it took off like maybe a 10th? Looks like it took off about a 10th. Now we do have to consider like scaling and all that because his health is down, and it looks like it did about the same. So let's see. Let's look at the effect again. So we're looking slightly for a slightly different effect here. Oh yeah, he blocked it. That's funny. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can end up in a situation where the alpha counter actually fails. Yeah, then he ends up about a person's length away. I do not play Mortal Kombat. I've never liked Mortal Kombat. I know it's gotten better, but to me, Mortal Kombat still holds that that feeling of it's all about the gore, and it's basically they're selling it on gore factor, and I'm not about that. I know that the gameplay's gotten way better since then, but I still can't really deal with the gore factor, I guess. It just comes off as cheap to me. Not financially cheap, but just, I don't know. It's like part of them's not really trying, they're just kind of resting on the fact that they're controversial, and therefore they'll get their views and clicks and shit based on that. So yeah, I like Street Fighter. I want to like KOF, but I'm no good at it. I guess I'm not good at Street Fighter either. But I know I understand less about KOF, but maybe I'll learn now that the rollback's in. Oh, there, he did it to me. Let's pick up. Let's reset. Can we reset? I guess we can only quit. I want to try Ken's. I don't know if you can hear the chicken in the background freaking out. Peep, 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 peep. That's all they do all the time. You don't like 3v3? How come? Oh yeah, I need some meter. Oh. Wow, rolls or grabs don't do shit. Look at us input reading bullshit. Ah! Alright, we save meter. I'll just save state it here. Or yeah, right here. Okay. Save game. Oh wow, that did like more damage than I thought. But maybe because he doesn't have as much life taken away. Let's try that again. Oh. Oh, wow, damn, that did a lot of damage. Holy shit. I like how the computer just instantly got out of, oh yeah, okay. That's what I was looking for, whether or not some of them did not knock down. It didn't look like it did. Well, let me do it now. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it didn't knock him down. Okay. But it did more damage, I think, maybe because of that. All right, let me load and try his punch alpha counter. So there's two different ones in alpha 2. Now that did a lot of damage too, but it also knocked him down in a way. But the normal kick didn't. I screwed it up. Oh my god, he did empty, he did an empty jump wall. There we go. Yeah, it didn't really move him. Didn't really move him. It did alright damage, but it didn't really move him. And that's fine, and that's where I was going to get into, where I wasn't going to make them all do a knockback. So, yeah, that one knocked down. He did a non-fire Shoryuken, like a heavy Shoryuken, but without the fire. So that's interesting. The hell was that? Negative on hit? Little chick is yelling at you to counter move. Trying to join the discussion. Do I see pure 1v1? Yeah, that's Street Fighter for you then. If you want 1v1, that's Street Fighter. I like tag games the most, probably. And Pocket Fighter EX is not a tag game because it's following more of the Neo Geo Pocket Color SNK versus Capcom had the 3v3. It also had a tag mode. It also had single. Tag mode would be complicated to implement, so I've only got single and team mode 3v3 in there right now. So I'm kind of curious as a couple other characters here. So let's quit and go back in. Now Alpha 3 does not have 2 alpha counters per character, it only has 1. They actually changed that, and I don't know about Alpha 1. I don't really play that one, so... let's see. I mean, we'll eventually have Chun, right? So let's see what she's got. Build some meter. You don't get whiff meter, I think. You don't get much for that either. Okay. Oh no. Well, I guess I'll get meter for getting hit. Oh, yeah, okay. I like her Street Fighter 3 moves. I don't like her alpha moveset at all. I wouldn't say that Chun's necessarily my favorite, but she's high up there. Very high up there. Favorite might be Ken. Okay, let's see. Alright, come get me. Oh. Alright, come get me. Let's spread it up here. Come on. Come get me. There we go. Okay, she does that one, and... Alright, come get me again. What's her kick? Oh, she went for grab. Whoa! At least I escaped it. Come on, come get me. Okay, and it's just a sweep. Okay. Actually her crouching medium kick, not the heavy. That's interesting. Okay. I want to see how much damage it does and whether or not... I'm assuming it knocks down. Yeah, wow, and right next to her too. They don't go anywhere. That's pretty cool actually, so you can stay on top of them. Okay. So, come on. And that doesn't knock down. So you gotta wonder kind of like if there's not a huge damage difference, which we're only kind of looking arbitrarily. What's the use of the ones that don't knock down? They seem very disadvantageous. Unless they're sub plus that you get like some kind of mix up or something after. wouldn't say that fighting games are necessarily significantly harder to make than other games. Kind of depends, you know, on the scope of your game. But fighting games are very complex with strict timing, and so that presents its own unique set of challenges in development. You know, it's something that a lot of developers aren't used to, having such strict timing and such complicated intertwining mechanics. And they can be easily overloaded on the design or even the technical end to make it really happen, to make it feel good to play. There's so much nuance in the actual nitty-gritty bits where, you know, a game like Mega Man would be, I would consider, significantly easier to make than a fighting game. But if you have a big enough game, then that can still be more work. So it kind of depends. I would say a game like Devil May Cry 5 would probably be harder to make than it would to make Street Fighter. You know, even like Street Fighter 5. Yeah, someone's making a generic engine in Unreal. The Unreal Fighter. It's still being developed. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It depends on the game and the scope of the game that you're looking for to create. So an indie fighting game might be easier, but it's still going to cost a lot of money to do all the animation, and because there's so much fine tuning and everything. I'm sure it reuses the Shoryuken, so I don't know. Let's look at... Oh, I guess we're doing Guy because it selected Guy. 15 characters is a lot. I wouldn't expect an indie fighting game to release with more than 8 characters right away. Yeah, so the interesting thing here, you don't need meter to do an alpha counter in this game. In fact, you use your guard gauge to do an alpha counter, which makes it far more dangerous. As you can see, now I have nothing to guard with. You have to be very careful. Alpha 3 had a lot of neat things in it. It just kind of got ruined by Theism. I think Alpha 3 is a great game if you just kind of ignore the fact that Theism exists, or crouch cancels, I guess. Yeah, it does make it risky. Like, obviously, you've got some meter in the beginning, so as long as you don't spam them, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm doing the wrong move for it. So this one, in this, it's you got to press forward and 2 of the same powered buttons. So like 2 lights, 2 mediums. It's not working now. So there's 2 ways that your guard meter like, you notice the guard meter keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Its maximum value keeps getting smaller. That's because whenever you get guard broken, or whenever you get guard broken, you lose some of your guard meter, or whenever you do an alpha counter, you lose some of your guard meter, and it will never grow back. So his was neat. I'm kind of curious what Cammy's is. Simulation fighting games? What do you mean by that? As opposed to what you said, arcade fighting games. I'm not sure what you mean by simulation. Oh, shit. Doing the wrong command again. Okay, she just does that. Wow, it did no damage! Okay, so I guess it's just trying to get you to get... It did like no damage! I guess it's just a get off me button. Okay. I guess. Yeah, I didn't do any damage. It did a sliver. All the damage she's got right now is just me hitting her with actual moves. Oh, she's using a dodge. Damn CPU. Input reading, son of a bitch. Come on, get me. Oh. Yeah, it does no damage. I guess it's just a get off me button for her. I kind of really didn't really pay attention, I think, to the other ones. Were they doing any damage? Let's see. Let's check Ryu's. He's always the normal, right? The average. Making a UFC fighting game would be harder than a 2D fighting game. I don't really think I agree with that. It would be different. It would be a design challenge more than a technical one at that point. It would just be kind of an issue of what kind of game you wanted to make out of that. Oh, I guess I probably should have did it on something that he would hit me on. Oh my god, will you hit me when I'm trying to block? Boom. Dude, that did no damage, did it? Let me do it again. Just to see. Jesus. Fucking whiffs it. I don't know if the AI is dumb or... Yeah, no, it did like no damage. So it's just a get the hell off me button in this game. Or in Alpha 2, it actually did maybe 1/10 of the bar damage. So that's about 100. That's about 100 damage. Okay, let's actually try to beat him. There we go. It does 1 pixel. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, any kind of Viism shenanigans you can pull out, you can just maul people's guard gauge. Like, it's not even funny. It's just, yeah, guarding just... Sorry, you're gonna get hit by it no matter what. Which I don't... That's one of the reasons I don't like Viism in this game. It just ends up being... It ends up rendering some of the mechanics, like, useless. It was like guarding. Well, it doesn't matter. If you have the correct... If you have a full Viism and you have the correct combo to do, it doesn't matter if they guard it or not. They're gonna get broken. And now they're at a disadvantage anyway, and they're still gonna get hit, no matter if they guard perfectly or not. You know, things like that bug me as a designer. Or it's like, no, you guarded perfectly. You should not... It should not happen to you. But they didn't really test these games for balance so much back in the day. Like, there's interviews with the people who made these games, and they're like, yeah, we kind of didn't care so much about the balance. We just wanted it to look cool, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, like, to a degree, you know, there's some balance. Like, they think about it, but not to the competitive level, I think was the question that they were given. You know, like, did you think about the competitive aspect? And they're like, no. No, we didn't. Which, you know, they didn't really have that thing back. They didn't have the competitive stuff back then, so, you know, it is what it is. And they had to pump these games out on, like, a yearly basis. You know, in hindsight, you think about it, it doesn't really occur to you, but all the Street Fighter releases, it was like a yearly thing. And Alpha 3 was like... Alpha 3 came out with Street Fighter 3. Like, people don't think about it that way. They're like, oh, Alpha existed between Street Fighter 2 and 3, and then when Alpha 3 was out, then they went to Street Fighter 3? No. Like, Third Strike and Marvel 1 and Alpha 3 came out within, like, the same 1.5 year span, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like a really, really close margin. So you think of all the Street Fighter games, all the Marvel games, and Street Fighter EX was happening at the time. Like, there was a lot of Street Fighter games. Like, every year you had at least one. Yeah, and so that's the thing. It's not so much it was a complete afterthought, but it's like, hey, we gotta make it look cool, we gotta add cool new stuff. but we only have like a year to do it. So, you know, what are you going to do? It's King of Fighters had the same issue as well. And that's why there's some super fuck-busted shit in the KOF releases. So they did pump that shit out real quick. Yeah, no, they were troopers back then, and then Capcom just kind of said, hey, we don't need you 2D animators anymore, bye. And so it ended up that most of the people responsible for Street Fighter, the best games in the series, have just gone. Most of them gone with SNK and Arika, and yeah, so that's Fighting EX Layer. Arika makes them, and they made the Street Fighter EX games as well. So you got to think of it that way. It's like, oh, okay, well, they've all moved on now. Yeah, Cap Gods for sure. The 90s Capcom was crazy, man. Well, I guess I'm supposed to be doing alpha counters here to see what happens. I guess we've already checked reviews, right? Yeah, it does like no damage. Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't know exactly who might have gone to Arxis, but I wouldn't be surprised if some did. I think some SNK people went to Arxis eventually. Yeah, Street Fighter 3 Market of Wolves. Yeah, those two are definitely the pinnacle of presentation in fighting games. Especially just focusing on the animation itself, yeah. I'd say the last visually stunning Marvel was Marvel 1. A lot of people overlook it because it's like, oh, Marvel 2's got 80 fucking characters, so we're just gonna play that. But go back and play Marvel 1, like just watch the arcade version, not the PlayStation version. The arcade version of Marvel 1 is hella style in that game. Like the hit sparks are fucking gigantic, all the flashing and the crazy shit and the screen shaking and the sprites and everything. It's really great. The backgrounds are really nice, they're well animated. Just touch it, little details everywhere in that game. And then since then they've sort of kind of lacked that same kind of punch. Yeah, Marvel 3 was pretty good. Marvel 2 was the weird looking middle child there, where they just started to go to 3D and they didn't really know what to do with it, so all the stages were just kind of lifeless. And there was that soundtrack, which is, it's legendary now, but man, it does not lend, to me, it does not sound like fight music. And that's where like Marvel 1 soundtrack was killer. Yeah, like they really tried with 3. But it doesn't have the same level of visual polish as 1 does. Not quite the same. Yeah, Marvel 2 is all about the gameplay. Definitely not the presentation. And CBS 2 has sort of the same problems, but I think because it came after, they learned a lot of lessons from Marvel 2, and they added more stuff into the stages of CBS 2. It was a bit more animation, a bit more presentation there. They're still potentially lacking compared to CBS 1, but they definitely learned their lesson from Marvel 2. Yeah, all the Marvel games had a pretty good presentation, especially like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and then Marvel 1. Like those 3 in the middle were like really good. Yeah, at this point, I think the pinnacle right now is just Guilty Gear Strive. I mean, they're kind of undefeated in the presentation department right now. Arxis is just killing it with like Dragon Ball Fighters and you know, Xrd, even Xrd, how long Xrd came out, and that game still looks amazing. Still looks really amazing. No other game has alpha counters, does it? The Alpha 1 does, but I'm not going to bother looking at that one. And Street Fighter 3's just got the parries, which is sort of the next evolution of alpha counters. I guess there's nothing to look at there. They give us Marvel Infinite. Yeah, that one. That one. So we eyeballed it. It looked like about a tenth of a bar of damage for alpha counters. And that's what we have calibrated right now, give or take. Oh, that was funny. I hit him with the back foot off a run. Yeah, man. They put Zero in Marvel 3 and they gave him an X costume, but man, it's not the same. It's not X. Yeah, that's my whole thing. I'm like, oh no, they blew it with Marvel Infinite, and it's the only game that we're ever gonna get Mega Man X, Zero, and Sigma in it. Like, they're not coming back. Like, let's be real. Zero might come back, but Sigma's not coming back. They blew it. They finally did the Mega Man X fans justice, and they blew it. They're gonna be associated with the worst one. Oh yeah. Xrd, they did the animation GDC talk. The thing is that it's such a complicated process, and it takes such an artistic knowledge, not only in 2D but in how to translate 2D into 3D, that they still corner the market on it. Like, people could try to do the same thing, and they do to a degree, but they're kind of like cheap facsimiles of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you look at things like Jump Force and stuff, and they're like, oh, we're gonna apply shaders that are similar, or like the My Hero Academia game, but it's just not the same. And it's because there's such an attention to detail beyond just having a shader. So that's one thing that people don't understand. It's not just a shader that they use. They actually rig the models in ways that make them look more 2D when rendered under the shader. Like always shadowing near the eyes for some characters, or always shadowing around certain parts of the face, and certain parts of the face are lit differently depending on the lighting, and then they build in imperfections into the animations so that when they're looked at as a pseudo 2D image, they look like a hand-drawn thing. On top of obviously limiting the amount of frames that you see. So the frames of animation, quote unquote, like, they're not really frames of animation necessarily, but they stop the 3D model from moving smoothly, and they have them hold poses, just like, you know, you would hand animate something in an old fighting game. And that kind of look just really makes it look like it's 2D. So it's just more than just a shader. And I think that's a lot of companies focus on, oh, we just need to make a shader to make it look like that. And like, no, it's not going to come out that way. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the details. You're not going to get the same result. Yeah, and then they put Jetta in too into Infinite. They went out of their way to please the Mega Man X and the Darkstalkers fans. And then both of them were like, yeah, we're getting Jetta, we're getting X, we're getting Sigma. And then they blew it. Oh, it sucks to be a Darkstalkers and Mega Man X fan. Yeah, Strive has smoother animations, so they, instead of trying to duplicate the old animation look of the characters for the returning ones, like Soul and Kai and all that, they went and they did a smoother, like, it's still frame-based, they still hold poses and stuff, but it's not the same choppiness. So when Xrd came out, they were literally trying to recreate the Guilty Gear X drawings, those sprites. They were using those as the template. So that's why you saw, like, the newer characters seem to have smoother animation, and the older characters seem to have choppier animation in Xrd. That was because of that. And then so in Strive, everybody's getting that same smoother treatment, so they don't have to worry about any kind of differences there. Ah, okay. Alright. Oh, these says the timing is on 2s and 3s instead of 4s now. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, it certainly makes a difference. Fighter Z kind of did that too. I'm not sure to what technical degree, but they were obviously a little more smooth than Xrd's original presentation. Of course, it came later, so, and they didn't have any basis to work off. They weren't trying to copy anything from prior. I don't know what their timings were though. But it's all the same tech. And I think it looks good. I think Strives looks good. It doesn't need to be any choppier. Like, it's still got that effect. It just doesn't, it just looks a little smoother now. I'm trying to do a running show you, see if I can go through it. Nah, I can't get close enough. I could probably get it with an EX if I can pull it off in time. Oh, not quite. Oh, it's not gonna work. Oh wow, you can just do it from there. I didn't expect that to be the case. You know why? Because he puts his hands up. That's why the second hit doesn't hit. It hits the hands, and it hits the hands, but then it doesn't hit the rest of it. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Oh, that one hit both, but he was closer. But yeah, that hitting the hands is definitely what made that possible. Got closer. Yeah. That's funny. Cell shading's cool and all, but ArcSys style games might as well set the standard for anime games. Oh yeah, dude, they absolutely, they're the king right now in that style. They have raised that bar all the way, and no one's even really Xrd came out on the PS3 and they still haven't. No one's really duplicated it, except them. They keep using it for stuff. And Grand Blue is also ArcSys. No surprise there. I think they were sharing tech with Platinum. So when Platinum was doing their their Grand Blue game, which I don't know if they're still doing or not. I think they canceled or got shipped off to someone else. I think they were working together on that too. So that's like the only instance. It's the Krabby Patty's secret formula. It pretty much is. Except it's not even secret. Like I said, they did a whole GDC talk on it and people just can't duplicate it. I think it has to do with the fact that it takes so much effort. It takes so much effort to actually do it. People are like, oh, it's going to be really simple. You just pop the shader in and go. No, 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 no. No, no, no. It takes them 6 months, count them, 6 months to animate the characters in Xrd, each individual character, 6 full months of work to animate. It is not a plug-and-play solution. Absolutely not. Krabby Patty public formula. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Strive jumped from Japanese TV quality to Japanese movie quality. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, there is that downside. It makes it much harder to sell or to apply a custom character model, like a costume rather. an alternate costume. You could do it, but since they tend to keyframe all the clothing and don't rely on physics, then you have to contend with that. You have to contend with that limitation that if you do an alternate costume, then you'll need to draw all those frames again. So a good example is Soul's Gear Form from Xrd is an install, and that's technically an alternate costume, but it's so close that they can use the same animation for that as they do the typical costume. But if you did anything wildly different, so if you did like, oh, we're gonna put Soul's Guilty Gear 2 costume in instead, then you're gonna have problems. Because it's got different belts and zippers on it, right? And you need to animate that if you want it to look really good. You can't rely on physics. That's why a lot of the costumes in Street Fighter V look goofy with the physics and stuff. It just doesn't look the same. Just doesn't look as good because it's not hand animated. Also explains why only one character truly transforms in DBFZ, that of which being Frieza. Yeah, and all that is changing his texture to show the different color. That's all it's doing. Alright. Trying to think where to go next with these. We do have to make some new effects for this. And we do need... Does Grand Blue have custom weapons? I don't know about that. I don't play Grand Blue. I played the beta, but that was it. Imagine Marvel vs. Capcom with a character creator. Maybe. I don't know how that would really work. Would it have to be a scroll? To be like create a scroll? And then, well, yeah, see, there's the thing, because you could say apply the animation to a rig or whatever, but if they don't have the same body type, it's not going to look right. You'd have to create new animations for that created character, and they'd all have to be the same body type. And then, yeah, they'd have to be the same body type if you want to reuse all the animations. And then they'd have to have costumes that fit that body type. You'd probably have to rely on physics animating clothing to do that. In Street Fighter EX3, let's see if I can find a video of it. They actually had to create a character. Alright, let's see. YouTube. The character's name was Ace, and you could get different moves and outfit him with different moves. I'm not sure if all the normals were the same. It was just the specials. Street Fighter EX3 Ace. So here, then you could play as Ace. I don't know if they'll show, I guess they don't show him being created. But here he is. You'll notice that he's, you know, a very typical build on his body. In fact, he's using a lot of reuse animations, I can tell. But you can customize his stuff. Yeah, so he's got Flash Kick. Looks like he's got moves from other characters. He's got Flash Kick, he's got Poem Perna's. I think that's how you say her name. Got her super. So yeah, there is that. I don't know. I've not played much of Rival Schools 1. I've played more Project Justice. I don't know if they have a created character in that one. Yeah, you're right. Ken does have green fireballs. Let's full screen it. Switched again. I like the tag mechanics in this game and the way that meter works. It's really fun. I really like EX. I mean, it's rough around the edges in other aspects, but I really like how it is. It was a very fun game. Not competitive, but fun. Oh, it's hung there for a minute. Yeah, let's see that green fireball. You're right, though. He does have green fireball. Come on, shoot that Hadouken. Nah, he's just getting in there. I believe the menu music that we use in Pocket Fighter EX is a placeholder, but I believe that is the custom character creator theme from this game. Game animation is way more granular now, so it's orders of magnitude harder to reapply animation to different models. Yes, that is absolutely true. Is absolutely true now. There's much more details and specific configurations per rig to make it really hard to share animations. Yeah, you want to see what happens when you share animations between characters? Hold on, I'll show you what happens. Oh, if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. Yes! Yes, it's still here. Alright. Alright, this is a move swap. So they swap the animations and moves between Sakura and Zangief. This is what happens when you change animations on the rigs that they're not designed for. Look at it. This is what happens. Is this the future you want? This is the fucking monkey's paw of I want created character. Oh yeah, we'll swap out those animations, all right. Yeah, it's fucking Dixie Kong. yeah, I guess Marvel 3 probably has somewhere hilarious. Like, oh my god, the fucking face! The fucking face! It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, this is exactly the example of why nowadays it's not just as so much of a hey, we're gonna take that animation, put it on. It has to be the same body type. Like I was saying, you have to have some sort of universal body type standard to get that kind of thing going. Otherwise, you'll have to reanimate the move for each of the body types or whatever other rig differences that you have between your different models. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. Yeah, it's interesting. It's probably one of the funnier ones. You can swap other character models. Some of them work out okay, and some of them don't. Like if you swap like Ryu and Evil Ryu, I think those ones work out fine because they're basically the same model, the same kind of rigging. So even like between Akuma and Ryu, we're probably all right. I'm just guessing on that one. I don't recall exactly. It's been a long time since these have come out. Yeah, let's grapple. Yeah, it's it's interesting. Oh, it's interesting. Let's see if I can find another one. Let's see. Move, swap, Ryu, Akuma. Okay, Oni and Evil Ryu move swaps. I don't think this one will be too bad. They're about the same body type. Oh no, his face! Oh no, his face! Akuma lucked out. He looks alright. But oh, Ryu's face got really long. Got really long and weird. I think he's floating a little bit off the ground too in some animations. So yeah, it's a little different. But it's not as bad as the other one. Luigi face. Let's see, who else is a big character? Can we get Hakan? Oh no! Oh no! Hakan and Jury! This has gotta be terrible! No, fuck you, go away. Fuck you. Fuck you! No! You're gonna get me demonetized, YouTube! YouTube's doing its best to demonetize it. Get the fuck out of here! Skip it! Fuck you, Mitch McConnell. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, nightmare! Oh, it's nightmares! Nightmare fuel, holy fuck! Oh god, that's way worse! That's way worse than Zangief! Oh no! Dude, that was some fucking crazy zombie alien shit! Oh no! Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Oh, I can't wait for the reverse. I can't wait for the reverse. Are they going to show the other one? Are they going to show Jury? I think so. No? Yeah, they're going to show Jury. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no, no! No! Why? What the fuck? Why? God, why? Frog Jury. Oh no! Oh, this is no! Oh god! Oh, it's so weird! No! Yeah, time to oil up! Holy shit! Yeah, this one's very much like the Sakura Zangief. The face! Oh no! No! Oh my god! Oh, my eyes are burning. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Okay, we've had enough of these. We've had enough of these. Alright, now that I won't be able to sleep tonight. Come on, just bring the rapture now. I need to go. It's done. Yeah, so, yeah, go look those up. I'm sure there's more. Man, I didn't even think about Hakan all this time, and it just hit me, and I'm like, oh, he's the other big body character. Oh, Jesus Christ. No more computer. We're reading books from now on. Yeah. Books can't scare you, right? Yeah. There's also picture books, too. You didn't specify. Oh shit, Hugo. Okay, all right. No, you're right. We have to do Hugo. Where's the browser? I'm sorry. You're right. We do need to do Hugo. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Okay. Oh, okay. Last one. Street Fighter 4 move swap Hugo. What? I don't see it. Maybe nobody ever did a Hugo. Yeah, I don't see one for Hugo. That's weird. You figure there would be one. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it crashes or something. Weird. Yeah, Street Fighter 4. Let's see, swap. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't see a Hugo move swap. That's weird. Maybe it doesn't work. Be gone. Bad spirits out of the house. Yeah, weird. Oh, you found one? Paste the link in. I want to see it. Oh no. Oh yes. Yeah. Paste the link in chat. Let me see it. I want to see this shit. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Here we go. It's loading. Hugo. Oh no. Hugo. Body swap with Ibuki. Oh no. Oh come on. Get out of here with these fucking ads. There's like 12 times more ads on YouTube lately. Okay, was this an intro? Fuck out of here. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Oh, it is. Wait. It's just the moves though? So is it pulling different animations? Like it's pulling Ibuki's animations. Yeah, it's pulling Ibuki's animations, but it's got the moves. So it's not the animation swap. Please not Ibuki. Yeah, so it's not a full swap. It's just calling different animations. So the reason this happens oh no! Oh no! Oh no, there it is! Oh no! Oh no! At least some of it's in there. Oh, that's weird. Okay, alright, come on, do the super. I know Ibuki. Oh no! 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 The Ultra animation must be stored separate. Oh! And then it just goes back as soon as there's some fucking alien shit. Oh no! I'm so sorry for your spine, Ibuki. Okay, so just to explain the technical side of this, of what's going on, when they just swap the moves like that. Oh no! Yeah, Puffmaster Roshi. What's going on is that the animations are serialized as a like animation number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, etc., etc. So when you use Hugo's moveset file says, hey, this move calls animation 5 and with these hitboxes, is essentially what's going on. So that's why it was like when he was doing like a medium kick, Ibuki was blocking in a blocking animation, because whatever number animation that medium kick was, or whatever it was, for Ibuki, that's a blocking animation. And so in Ibuki's code, it's calling the correct number for the correct animation, you know, during her block. But in Hugo's case, the same number is used for like medium kick or whatever it happened to be that was causing it. And so if you replace just the files, it's going to pull, hey, I need animation number 5. And it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to try to play that, you know, as a part of its move. It seemed like the Ultras might have been stored as a separate kind of animation, maybe because it was cinematic and not like a normal attack, because that was the only one that distorted her. So that might explain the rarity of some of these, where it's just some of them just don't work right maybe when you swap, or maybe if you have an incorrect number of animations, it's possible, instead of gracefully handling that by pulling a different animation or not doing an animation, it's possible it just crashes the game. It's usually what happens when a resource is not found and the computer is expecting it to be there. It will just crash, unless you build code to handle it otherwise. And if they were thinking, well, there's no way in hell that it would ever pull the incorrect animation because there's no animations that we're using that would just not exist, and they wouldn't bother handling that, wasting time on code to do that. Although it's a nice feature to have, especially when you're building the game. So in Pocket Fighter EX, if I call an animation that doesn't exist, it just doesn't play anything. And it'll end up, like, if I put only the idle animation in for a character, they'll be jumping around and they'll be doing stuff, but they'll just stay in their idle animation and slide around the screen. But it's very possible that that's not the case in all engines. They don't typically waste time doing stuff that they know is not going to be a problem or is not an intended feature. So that's wasted time to do that code. You could waste a whole half day, or even a few hours that you could be using for other things. Trying to stay hydrated here. It's killing me. It's fucking bullshit. Oh, that fucking jury one. Holy fuck. Oh, that was bad.